Tyreek Hill to play. That is certain. We'll take a look into our exposures, and big board's not going too bad. So basically, we're at even advance rate, if not just a little over for playoff expectation. And considering the exposures, I can't really be mad. Um, Dalmatians are looking good. This is pod luck. This is 100% pod luck. I would say there's about a 30% chance that this team remains just based on the people below me and who I have going. But this Dalmatian team's moving on. And this is probably my favorite team I drafted in the offseason. Super focused on week 17. Yes, we're going to have both quarterbacks in that same matchup, Dallas versus Detroit. But I don't care. I don't care. Give me the QB that scores the most in that game. Should have a super high total for that week. A lot of teams with that focus, KC, Cincinnati, my God, RIP. RIP to those shares. But there's going to be some absolute ugly teams that advance, like CEH getting there. Man, yeah, Keaton Mitchell go down. So is Gus Edwards now a big piece moving forward? Chuba Hubbard getting a good amount of carries every single week now. Goes over 100 yet again. It's starting to get interesting. It's definitely starting to get interesting. Too Cool Rad, welcome to the live stream. Adam, what's going on, my man? If you guys haven't already, go down, slap the like, subscribe to the channel if you play fantasy football, best ball on Underdog especially. We have our Discord of over 235 members in the description. Super active. I love everyone on there. This one's going to be a fun one, though. Lamb, St. Brown, Debo, Ayuk. So we also pull in the San Fran double with this Detroit-Dallas focus. So I love this one. I do love this one. We got Laporta and Henry. Laporta's going to be chalky. Laporta's going to have a super high advance rate next week, so I am glad this is 3 tight ends, just in case he busts, maybe still being able to advance him to week 17. We'll have to see Henry's injury. After he left, he didn't come back in. For me, it looked like a thigh contusion, but reported as a knee injury, so we'll see. With that, for this contest specifically, it is 2 out of 6, week 15. Week 16, you get reseeded with, I believe, 6 teams, and it's again 2 out of 6. So close. And then what is it, 40-person final, I believe? Of course, it doesn't. You have to go into the all rules. Where is it? So used to doing this on my phone. Funding methods. Strange. Usually it shows the scoring, like in the payouts down here, but whatever. I believe it's 20K to first, 7K to second, and it's either 40 or this might be the 20-person final. It's very condensed, and you see that a lot with those higher stakes. This one was 101 entry. I believe 4 out of 12 advanced in this one, and then again 2 out of 6 to play in that small person final. I'm gonna be doing a lot of these next season. I think they only did 2 Dalmatians. That other Dalmatian was the Dalmatian 2, and I believe you could do a 3 entry for this one. So we end up advancing 2 out of 4, which is good. We'll take 50% on that. Pitbull, we ended up doing 3 out of 10 advancing, and this was 2 out of 12. I believe one of these is live. We have 112 here. Josh Allen doing nothing for us. James, like Aaron Jones, I'm actually excited for next week. If we can get some Aaron Jones squads in against Carolina, little sneak peek to Battle Royale. He goes way too late right now, especially with the unknown with A.J. Dillon. Whether A.J. Dillon plays or not, I don't care. Aaron Jones is going to be a nice target for this week's Battle Royales in the last round, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, before that change happens in the field. So we do have Devonta Smith running. RIP Nico. It'd be nice to advance a Nico squad too. We have no RBs. Devonta Smith. So anything over 6.9 is gravy for this team, but is that going to be enough? Probably not, right? It depends. It could be. Are these teams all done? Are these teams Mike Williams? I feel you. I feel you, my man. We saw oh my god. Sky Moore going to the IR, just the Reaper came for him. The Reaper came for him at the end of the season. Not like it mattered. ER7, welcome to the live stream. That Dalmatian team is stacked. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a fun one. Tarek, welcome to the live stream, my dude. Click on the other icon in the middle. Love that. Love that. So here, you're saying not this one. Brain, work. I don't know where it is. But that team has no one playing. Please. Please. Okay. So far, so good. No Devonta Smith. No Seattle pieces. Yes. Yes. Okay. So like a 15-point game from Devonta Smith advances this pity. We'll check the team behind us. You got to show respect to the people under you. You got to show some respect. Let's go. This team's live. 15 points from Devonta Smith. Or is it more? This is 8.3 plus 6.9. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's like 15. Wow. Okay. So this one's live. We'd be able to advance Josh Allen, who will take a hit for having what, like a 17-point game. That will hurt his advance rates a little bit. Won't completely kill him because teams are stacking multiple QBs. It'd be nice to get a cup team in because this is already super low advance rate. Cup is already relatively low. Nico Collins will sneak him in. Rashad Bateman getting a little more in the mix. Puka squad. And the tight ends are fun. Chig. My God. My God. Thank God we put him on 3 tight end squads. And I believe this one's dead and we just don't get good pod luck. So like we put up 139 and that would be first place in this pod. Man versus pods. Man versus pods. You can only do so much. Daniel Jones, Purdy, and Tannehill, Saquon, Gibbs, Connor, Tank, and Gus. Ooh, we got AJ. We got AJ Brown and Tyler Lockett in this one. But I have a feeling we're going to need – so our flex is 13.4. So anything over 13.4 is gravy for this squad. Another Nico Puka squad? Come on. Purdy, we got the double with Nico plus Schultz. Terry McLaurin going back to being a POS next week under Sam Howell. Sam Howell expected to get the start. It took Jacoby Brissett to come in the game and just throw the ball to him, give him a chance in the end zone, and he goes up and snatches it. Underthrown ball, didn't matter. Terry's a skilled guy. It's just like you wonder if Sam Howell saw that. I was like, oh, maybe I should try that. Probably not. He'll probably go back to being like a 7-point guy next week under Sam Howell. Catches for 42 yards. Yeah, the one in the middle of the screen, not on the right side. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Here. I see. I see what we're saying. I see what we're saying. Thank you. Thank you for breaking that down. Pitbull, 120K up top to get 2 teams. Shit. I'm not gonna be greedy. Give me one of these 2. And like only 2 advance here. So we need to get over 147, and that also requires these teams not having anyone. Okay, this team doesn't. This team, it doesn't matter. We only need to get ahead of 1. Jalen Hurts, eek. Yeah, so how does Devonta Smith? So this team's getting there, right? So he's passing over to Baker, which means we have to pass over 153 basically. So we need 14.34 points plus. We have AJ Brown and Lockett. Okay. With Puka, so our wide receiver 3, so anything over 7.8. This is live. It would take our flex is 13. So if like Lockett puts up like 16, we get 2.6 there. And then if AJ Brown puts up like 20, we're getting 12. So let's say we get 15 points. That puts us right there. Can't count it out. You can't count it out. This one definitely has a better road to getting there. But we're live, and I would rather make it in the high stakes or the higher stakes, I should say, the 75, the 101s, higher stakes than BBMs. Just there's such a good chance that the BBMs just die next week. 1 out of 16. 126. Is this team done though? Goff, Aaron Jones, Connor, Gus. Oh God. Is this gonna be a case of if Gus Edwards got in the end zone on that, like, second to last drive where I think then, like, a penalty backed them up after they were on, like, the goal line? Ah, you hate to see this. 5 points from our wide receiver 3. Although, like, the wide receivers probably aren't strong enough anyways to get us there, but the RBs, Aaron Jones would be nice, Connor, Brian Robinson, Gus Edwards moving forward's nice. 2 QBs, like, between Prescott and Goff, like, that's pretty awesome. Schultz, Conklin, McBride. McBride's on the way up, and we were super high on McBride this offseason, especially in the big board. Like, we ended up with, like, 26% McBride, and we started drafting that on, like, Tournament Open. It looks like this one's dead, but put up a good score. Can't complain. Can't complain. It fought. It fought. Best ball manias. Doesn't look good here, right? We got this one, though. This one's sneaky. 127, 0 points at QB. 127, 0 points at QB. We are 15 points behind first place. We also got Devonta Smith. We have a nice road to getting there with this team. Goddard, can he flex too? What's our flex scoring? Our flex is scoring 9.3, so it's not crazy to think Goddard could flex as well. Anything above 9.3, Devonta Smith, and we're getting just full points at QB. And we got Stroud and Nico in this one. So advancing both of them would be fun. Not that they're going to be super low advance rate, but to get that Houston stack. And Robert Woods. I mean, we kind of wish it was Noah Brown, but Robert Woods, that was a freaking. I wasn't super heavy on Robert Woods, so it's funny to see him on the squad. Antonio Gibson, like that role for him was just, it wasn't great, right? Everyone sort of thought thought he was guaranteed 10 carries, like 10. He gets 4. And Chris Rodriguez goes like 10 for 35. He doesn't have a good game. It's not like Gibson fumbles. So that was strange. His role in the second half was like non-existent. So he's had better games with Brian Robinson starting in front of him. Just very very interesting. Dylan Warren, Singletary's on the way up. This is a fun squad. Like this BBM squad could definitely do some damage. DJ Moore. We'll just mention Burks. Just we'll mention them. These are the first points he got me all year, guys. These are the first points he got me all year. We'll take it. Well, if we get in by 0.7, we'll take it. We'll take it. Shaheed, Spike Week guy. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. Njoku's just been the punisher. He'll have a high advance rate. Addison's going to have a super high advance rate. CMC, obviously, especially with Hill doing nothing for you, and then CMC putting up 39. He's going to be very chalky next week. And again, it's a 16-team pod. Hey, shout out to Bez G, one of the pounders in this pods. Please, no Seattle and no Philly. Okay, that's 1. No Seattle. Ooh, okay. I think this is okay because I'm only 5 points, 5.5 points down from him. He needs every point after 15. He starts gaining points from Hurts. I start gaining points from Hurts right away. So if Hurts puts up 20 points, he gains 5, and I gain 20, right? So we instantly jump above him. Does he have any other road to getting there? He has Devonta Smith. Okay, now we have to do some math. Let's do some math. Where's his flex? He got 0 points from tight end. Where's his flex? 7.9 for his flex and 6.7 for wide receiver. He got 0 from Zay. That's huge. 6.7. So we're only down 5 points. Our wide receiver starts gaining points after 7.2. That's good. That's good. I think I think we outmatch up him and Goddard. So I think we have him. That's all. Yeah, we do. That's big. That's big. My God. Just like holding my breath. Okay, so he's got Tyler Lockett. So this is a different piece. His flex scored 11.9. So if he gets 20 points from Tyler Lockett, we're being generous. That's 8 points, right? He goes up to 142. And again, we just need 15 points from Jalen Hurts to pass him. And that's not counting like Devonta Smith scoring over 7.2. This team looks like it's advancing. And again, we had 24 teams. So your advance rate is it's 1 out of 16. So you're hoping for 2 teams, but you're not surprised if you get 1. Sometimes you're not even surprised if you get any. Depending on how you drafted, especially if you took strong stances, in one bad game on those strong stances could kill you. 3 QB, Geno Pickett, Purdy, McCaffrey, Barkley, Brian Robinson, Singletary, and CEH. I can count on one hand how many teams with CEH I drafted all offseason. So it's nice to see him pay off here. It's gross. It's definitely gross. But 18.1 from the flex from CEH. Debo, Terry, Deontay Johnson, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Van Jeffy, Paris Campbell. Oh my God. So these 3 wide receivers are out. Flowers, Addison, Deontay Johnson, McLaurin, Samuel. We have a good mix of like floor and ceiling in here, but for 2 weeks in a row, seems thin. Cool to have Waller here, though. Pretty cool to have Waller, Pat Fry. So we have the double with Pickett, but like you probably don't want that. Preseason, making that bet that like Pittsburgh improves as an offense, more sustained drives, more red zone trips, and then just like no, absolutely, actually none of that. The LOLCEH, hashtag Vinny and Artie, they were they were super on those guys. And Claypool, I couldn't do it. This team I believe is dead. We're down 16 points, and yeah, then this happened. We got 8 points from Slayton. Oh man, the tight ends too. They tried. They tried their best. The RBs, obviously Cam Akers. Like the Ty Chandler thing. The Ty Chandler thing and like the amount of victory laps that have happened on Twitter. Like, oh yeah, like I knew he would hit. Like this team did not believe in him so much that first off, Alexander Madison was starting in front of him. And then they brought in Cam Akers. Cam Akers gets hurt. Otherwise, this is never a thing. Like this doesn't happen. So like the Ty Chandler thing, and I get it. Like, who cares? Like some people were clicking Ty Chandler. We were clicking Dwayne McBride. We're both wrong. Turns out the Dwayne McBride take was even more wrong. There were sharp people on that. Hayden was on Dwayne McBride too. 128. We need 144. I don't believe, dude, the Bijan thing is so tragic. Now, I was underweight on Bijan leading into the season. So we get every point after 2.7 for Devonta Smith, but okay. Okay. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. So we're down 16 points. So if he puts up like a 19-point game, this one could spike, but does any team in front of us have players going? Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued. Oh, A-Rich, RIP. 40% A-Rich in the rookies and sophomores drafts for me. Okay. That's 2 teams out of the way. No Seattle, no Philly. Dudes. Is it too good to be true? No Seattle, no Philly. Oh my God. Come on. How about the team behind me? You have to have someone. Okay, he has Smith and Metcalf. All right, this man's 7.2. So let's say 7.2. What's mine at? 2.7. Okay, that's interesting. So he would need, let's say Devonta Smith's the one that goes to 20, right? I would gain more points than him. And let's say Metcalf, because if Devonta Smith goes to 20 points, his flex got 10.8. Interesting. So DJ Moore would be off the board. I would gain more points from Smith than he would because of our lowest scoring receiver. And then he would need Metcalf to score zero point 0.7. No, 1 point. Yes, 0.8. 0.8 more than this. So he would need like 11.6 from Metcalf along with, I mean, it has a chance. It has a chance. It's not super likely, but I do like one of our chances of actually spiking up. If it's a Devonta Smith game, that's funny. I thought this team was completely dead. This one's heartbreaking. Shout out to Herzig when he came on a live stream. We drafted a monster. This one did finish in the top 10K as well. Zay Jones, we'll do a little backstory. Zay Jones needed like 9.8 points, like not a lot, to have this team spike into first place. He had 7.5 points, half point PER at halftime. The man ends with 8.4, so I think he needed like just over 10. And it's still not dead. Like that's you can't kill this team. We still have Jalen Hurts. If he puts up like 27.6, we need 2 points. We need 2.5 points. We need like 27 plus points from Hurts. Derrick Henry should have a lower advance rate from his shit showing, but might be due for a bounce back game with no Will Levis next week. And Tyreek Hill. To advance the Tyreek Hill squad would be so damn nice. And this one's got Nico. Hurts and Purdy's a great combo. Kittle, Komet, RP Musgrave. God damn. You got that one? Oh, man. We need a Devonta and Lockett week. Ravens defense is elite. Yeah, that game, nah, man, like Jacksonville beat themselves. The amount of like missed field goals, the rookie Parker Washington not getting out of bounds, and even worse than that, them not spiking the ball. What was that? What was that? Jacksonville deserved to lose that game. It's like plain and simple. And every single Baltimore running back is just cursed. Cursed with injuries. Keaton Mitchell goes down. Those are some nice scoring teams. I don't think anything else is live. I went through real quick and just sort of I had too much. Let's go into the exposures. I just had so much Tyreek Hill. 31%. 1/3 of my team said Tyreek Hill and Brandon Ayuk. They both bust. Josh Allen busted. DJ Moore busted. I'm just happy to have like a decent advance rate with these being my exposures right now. Brian Robinson didn't play. Purdy had a good game. AJ Dillon didn't play. Lamb gets saved. He'd even have to be on the field that last drive. They were getting blown out. He'd even have to be on the field. He gets a rushing touchdown to save his day. Gabe Davis busts. Nico Collins doesn't play. 18% Goff probably saved me. 18% Njoku. James Conner. Hunter Henry. So like we got saved by I think like the tight ends. 17% Pacheco didn't play. I'm very happy with those exposures and having a relatively good advance rate. It didn't have to be like that. I could be advancing no BBM teams. That's very, very possible. We're almost back to what we paid for weekly winners. If this team has CMC, like we're right up there. I'm sure you can say that about a team in every single week, but so close, no cigar. That one's cashing probably $20. Big board. We had a lot of fun drafting the big board with you guys. It's where we gained a lot of our following too in the off season. Don't let anyone tell you like, oh, drafting too early is like bad. Like this team puts up 153. We drafted it at the end of February. Shout out to Farachi in this pod. It looks like this team's getting screwed though by 4 points. Oh shit. Okay, we have AJ Brown. Maybe not. Maybe not. Where's the flex? The flex scored 15.2. Our wide receiver 3 scored 14.6. So we need 4 points plus. We need 18. We need like 18, 19 points from AJ Brown for this one to advance. Possible. Definitely possible. Told you we had a lot of McBride. Jelani Woods. Someone got me on the Jelani Woods train at the towards the end of the big board, and I curse you. I curse you wherever you are. 4 QB, Deshaun Watson, Staffy, Jordan Love, and Will Levis. CMC, Henry, Connor, Montgomery, Chase Brown. Okay. Okay. Still got Devonta Smith. We're pushing on Watson, which is nice. We're pushing on Ayuk, which is nice because he busted. This team's got Trey Palmer. Trey McBride. 118 is this might be pod luck. This could be pod luck. Kirk, Jones, and Ritter. Achan at pick, does it tell you? Pick 33. No. That's not right. No. Algier pick 28. So that's all fudged up. JJ, we got Devonta Smith still running, D-Hop, Jordan Addison, Mike Evans, DPJ, Taekwon, and Kendrick Bourne. You can see a lot of Trey McBride. So that one should advance. Jalen Hurts and A-Rich. CMC, White, Zeke. I can also count on one hand how many times I drafted Zeke this offseason. And I guess I'm just glad that he's on an advancing team at this point. I hate the click. I was team Lenny over Zeke in the offseason. Like, just seemed like Lenny is fat and out of shape every offseason. He ends up on a team and just, I guess not this time. J-Dubs, man. It happens. Honestly, sometimes bad pod luck. Your players that you're high on that maybe outperform during the season. They're great picks. They're great advance rate plays, and they just bust 1 week. If you're 50% on that player and he's high enough draft capital, you don't always move these players on. So 0 out of 20, not 1 below 8, 4 second place, 4 third place. Dude, I'd be super salty too. I was very close to being right in your shoes with my goddamn 30% Tyreek Hill and everything else. So I hear you, man. That's tragic, bro. It's tragic. Jared, what's going on, man? Welcome to the live stream. Finally home from work. Let's go. We got the game starting in 15, 20 minutes. I promise we'll wrap up before the game starts. Big board, 4 teams. All right. All right. So you got some sweats. You got some sweats in there. Some strong Trey Lance teams. Yo. All right. You were watching some Fantasy Flock. Don't even lie. You were watching some Fantasy Flock early in the summer. Definitely going to max big board next year. The big board's so fun. The big board's so fun. 20 rounds, a lot of speculation. We drafted a shit ton of Devon Achane at pick 165 because we knew he was going to rise in the regular season. So I did get most of my shares in the big board. DK, Michael Pittman, Drake London, Quentin Johnston, DPJ, Elijah Moore. Wandell's a fun one. Terrace Marshall and Devontae Parker with Goddard, McBride, and Henry. So Metcalf should be able to hold this team. We have a team below us. Should be okay. Should be okay. And shout out to Felix. Bestball Nation. Came on the show. We drafted this one together. 316. Put up 140. Tua and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, if we look at this advancer, he's on like 25% of my big board teams. RIP. Aaron Jones, Montgomery, Kenneth Gainwell, who's going around like pick 200 at the time. When he rose to like 115 in Best Ball Mania, just during the summer, we're calling him Kenneth Gainsell. We got a lot of memes. There's a lot of memes. Mostert, Singletary, Tank Bigsby was going in that like 170 range, 180 range. And Izzy, we'll see. If they're out of the playoffs, do they just continue to pound Breece Hall, who, I mean, their O-line is so sad anyways. You're not really expecting anything from him. This wide receiver room, just these 5. I'd be good if this team just had 5. Lamb, Waddle, Debo, Ayuk, Addison, Wandale, Boots. Okay. Cedric Tillman, I don't think he even had a bad game. I think he ended up putting like 7 points last game. Sterling Shepard, RP. Oh, this team's got no tight end, though. Oh, man. Tyler Higbee. Oh, can we trade Shepard for literally anybody at tight end? That's pain. That's pain. This team could still get through, though. Mostert's going to be chalk next week. Singletary's going to be chalk next week. Aaron Jones won't be. Especially his advance rates aren't the best because he was hurt during the season. David Montgomery, this is still a fun team. If you can get like 5 points from Higbee, this could definitely do some damage with these receivers. Yeah. I think I went through the rest of them and nothing really popped out to me. But again, it's 2 out of 12. So you're expecting 4 out of 24 drafts. We go slightly under expected here, but again, like if I pull up these exposures and it's like, hey, yeah, McBride baby. 30% Hill again. The fact that we could advance one Hill team would be sick. Achan Algier, who I think out snapped and out carried Bijan. Not that he did anything with it, but man, if Dotson and Treylon Burks probably the field's biggest miss in fantasy, as well as mine, because I was 12 to 14% ownership of both players in the offseason. So we were above average on both. Okay. It makes sense. Daniel Jones, 27%. Tyreek Hill, 30%. That'll hurt you alone. First round pick. A lot of those Daniel Jones teams, I believe I did 2 QB builds too. So it kind of sucks. Tim Patrick. My goal is to put Tim Patrick in the winner's circle in one of these tournaments. 2 years in a row going down with a season-ending injury. Truly tragic. Truly tragic. The Undercat. We advanced 13 out of 20 on the Undercat. And it's funny because like in some of these, we had like, if you guys don't know, Feed the Freezer. He's like a legend in the daily streets. Not as much in season long, I don't think, but in the dailies, he's been gone for a little bit. But I just saw him. I think he just had a good finish in last week's Battle Royale. So I'm gonna have to tell me if they saw that too. This one we advanced with shout out to James and Pat Corain. I believe James. Yeah, James is back in this pod. Like you can't kill him. Do we have anyone left? We have Swift left. We have AJ Brown left. We have Goddard. This one looks like we could pop in. We drafted a ton of Philly pieces, a ton of Hopkins too, before he was traded. So like he was still on the Cardinals. So he's technically not on a bird team anymore. So this was basically all teams with bird mascots or cats. This was a fun one. So it was 4-person drafts, 1 out of 4 advanced to this week. And now it is what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 in 2 advance. I think it's the same next week as well. Shout out to Vapeware in this pod. Burrow, T-Law, and Goff, Swift, Montgomery, Gainwell, and Hubbard. This one's got DK and no, Ingram already played. He played yesterday. Okay, so DK over 5 points gives us points. And he has Rashad Penny. He also has DK, but anything over 8.4. So we should outscore him. Yep. So we have him locked down if DK goes over 4.8. So he has no path to getting first place, but he doesn't need it. He just needs to come in second. So he could come in second still if he passes this guy. Could happen. Could be us too. Could be us too. Cool. I'd be happy to advance 2, but really I'd like to get 3. This one we put the feel special on it after we drafted it. Lamar, Goff, Swift, Connor, Rashad Penny. Who thought that was a good pick? Cuba Hubbard, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Hopkins, Ingram, Zay Jones, and Likely. Interesting. Definitely interesting. This one should remain. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way, right? This was a fun contest though. This was super fun. I'll probably max this next year. Jalen Hurts and Ritter. Okay, so this one has some room. We're down 14 points. Kenneth Walker just has to go over 9.2. Tyler Lockett as well. Oh. All right, so we're live. I'm hoping we advance 3 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're live. It's fun. Guys, goddamn. I can't believe we're going to be drafting in the offseason so soon. Good luck. Good luck. And you collector, welcome to the live stream. Good evening. Will you have the player draft guide ready for the way too early 2024 drafts? Yeah, I 100% will. I 100% will. Now that's not at the opening for them, but I'm hoping for basically when the big board comes out. So I'll start making that guide when the ADPs come out. And it usually takes me about a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks. It's a lot. I haven't even foolproof the system to make it easy on me. I'm copy, cut, paste on that. We're going to make it available. Basically, it's going to be part of the entry level Patreon. And I'm thinking it'll be available on the entry level YouTube memberships as well. Do you have to be in the Discord for me to send it? I just end up I put everyone in a channel and I just send the updates there. It just makes it so much easier than sending it out individually until I get a website up, which is in the works. Dude, this would be insane. I started drafting at the end of January. It's gross. It's so gross. And so we're at 6K bankroll right now. I need to basically get to 10.4, I believe, to break even on the season drafting. We have some shots. This is playoffs. And again, it's like poker with tournaments. You're not expected to win big tournaments every year in poker. It's just, even if you're the best players in the world, it takes a lot. Sometimes winning one a year is your goal. It's tough. It's definitely tough. Yeah. That draft guide, we had a lot more hits than misses. So I'll definitely be bringing that back. Brandon Ayuk, one of our starred players, one of my highest owned players going into this season. He's getting flack right now. He did great, not only advance rate wise, but he still has a high ceiling on San Fran. So him catching some flack on on Twitter lately is just it's crazy because you had people drafting Drake London. You had people drafting Chris Godwin, shout out, ceiling game. Um, Maybe he's on the way up. But yeah, Mike Evans in that range, Ayuk, Tyler Lockett didn't have a bad season, didn't have a great season, but he still has that ceiling for week 17. Let the sweat begin. Oh my God. I can't wait. It's crazy how soon it is though. Like we're talking about it's December 18th. You don't even get a chance to take a break. You don't even get a chance to take a breather. I don't think anyone wants to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah. Yeah. So he almost hit again. That would have put him up to like 15 points. All right, let's take a peek right here real quick before we go. We got like 5 minutes. Highest scoring players from this past week. Christian McCaffrey put up almost 40 half point. James Cook's going to be chalk. Jared Law, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield should be relatively low owned. Jordan Addison, Laporta, Aiden O'Connell. Is there an Aiden O'Connell team out there? Brock Purdy, Waddle, he broke for a long touchdown with Hill's absence. Gibbs, Ty Chandler. The Ty Chandler thing doesn't scare me though. Like if Madison comes back, like Ty Chandler and Madison go to splitting and they eat each other alive for, 40 yards each. Terry McLaurin could go back to being just nothing with Sam Howell expected to start next week. Kyron Williams scares me. Scares me for my shares. I wasn't on Kyron because the field was on Cam Akers. I wasn't on Cam Akers. Should that have put me on Kyron on the back end? I don't know. I think that was a miss there to only have like 2.4% Kyron. Where we were drafting some of those other speculative ads. I did like tight end. Like we had a shit ton of Hunter Henry. We had a shit ton of Trey McBride in that last round. Definitely not enough Kyron. Njoku, Cup, White. You're going to see a lot of these players in your pods. You're going to see some Debo, Rashee Rice. I was super happy with our KC ownership this past season. Thought we smashed that. But all right, guys, that wraps it up. I hope everyone has a freaking fantastic Monday Night Football game. I hope everything happens in your pods that I'm not in with you to help you win and move you on to week 16 sweat. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's draft. We're going to be doing BR stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. Good night, fellas. Pounders.